Hello everybody and welcome to the Ozzimon Library. I'm your host Librarian, and today I wanted to dive in to the question of what would happen if a Power Ranger team swapped weapon types. Not exactly the weapons themselves. I'm not saying that two Rangers just hand each other their weapons. I'm talking about what if their exact weapons changed into a weapon that was already on the team. So the Ranger team weapon sets are exactly the same. We're just swapping the abilities around, swapping the Ranger around, so forth, so on. And I went with Dino Thunder first. I think Dino Thunder has a really cool array of weapons. We, of course, have a dagger, we have grips, a saber, a spear, and a shield. But what exactly would the weapons look like if the users had a different weapon type? Is any of this making sense? I feel like I'm not making sense. I don't know. Anyway, let's dive in and maybe you'll get the idea. So, first off, I want to dive in with the most popular Ranger of all time. We have Tommy Oliver. Well, obviously, Tommy's original weapon is the Brachio Saber. Now, that means we can't give him the Brachio Saber because that's his original weapon. So that leaves dagger, grips, saber, and shield. I decided to give him the spear. Now, think about it for a minute. Tommy's a very good martial artist, and the spear itself is a really cool, diverse weapon. The Super Sentai actually goes way more into what it can do, but it's still a really cool weapon. So I decided to give him a Brachio Spear. This spear of course, works well with Tommy's unique martial art fighting skills, and of course, it'd be very strong and hard-hitting, but also very quick. Tommy would be able to take down an army of foot soldiers or take down a monster of the week extremely fast, but also very hard hitting at the same time. So here we go, the Brachio Spear. I followed suit with the Tyranno Spear, making sure the head is at the top of the spear that you can jab people with. It can open its mouth and bite people and stuff, but also the little fin on its head as well. Maybe you could swing around and hit people. I made sure the tip was pointed as well. Now, let's dive into the person who has the Tyranno Spear, our leader of the team being Connor. Connor originally has a spear weapon, but what if we gave him the complete opposite to a dull spear and gave him something sharp? I gave him the dagger weapon. The dagger usually belongs to Trent, but in this version of Dino Thunder, he got given the dagger. So I give you the Tyranno Dagger. This dagger is ridged to all hell on both sides of the blade, and the bottom of the mouth can shoot laser beams. Maybe he could write something with it like the the Dragon Dagger can. Who knows? The limits are kind of limitless here. But yeah, it's a nice small dagger, but it's quite chunky on the blade. It's heavy hitting, but of course, you can also do some block damage with this, especially if a bad guy wants to take a hard swing at you. Your blade is wide enough to catch the attack, but with the ridges, maybe you could also disarm your opponent. So yeah, I give the Tyranno Dagger to Connor. So that leaves 3 weapon types. We have the grip, the saber, and the shield. So let's complete the main trio, and we'll dive into our lovely Kira, our Yellow Ranger. Originally, she had the grips. Well, of course, she can't use the grips in this universe because in the main storyline, she already has the grips. So let's give her Tommy's weapon, the saber. The Terra Saber. It kind of sounds interesting, doesn't it? I also flipped it here because the Brachiosaurus cannot fly and the Pterodactyl can. So, swapping around that. So, let's go with the Terra Saber. The Terra Saber, of course, is the exact same shape as the Brachio Saber, keeping with the theme, but it's all yellow now, very bright and very powerful. It's, of course, exactly the same as the Brachio Saber in fight style. She'll better hold it upside down and normal, fighting in both ways, dealing some heavy hits and nice dealing slashes. I feel like this is a very cool looking weapon, and I feel like this would give this version of Kira more diverse attacks, because, of course, Kira with the grips is very fast, very nimble, very quick, where this would be more long stroke attacks and more diverse hitting moves. Well, that being said, let's give a ranger the grips. They're going to Ethan. Ethan is our blue Tyrannosaurus ranger. Tyrannosaurus? What the hell am I talking about? Blue Triceratops ranger. The Triceratops ranger usually has a big shield. The shield is a defensive weapon, of course, most of the time, but the shield can do some form of damage. So let's give the person who has the most defensive weapon the fastest hitting weapon, and that is the grips. The grips do usually normally follow the pterodactyl face. The blade itself follows the face. Kind of hard to do with a Triceratops, but there is one thing a Triceratops do have, and they are horns. So I made one of the horns like the blade. The actual head bit of the blade, of the handles and the grips are based off the Morpher headpiece for the Triceratops Morpher. But itself, they are now fast and nimble Triceratops weapons, very agile, giving Ethan more diverse attacks, quick responding attacks, and yeah, I think these look really cool. I don't know if they would be balanced because of the way that I drew the head, but I definitely think this is rather interesting. Well, we've given Tommy the Brachio Saber, we gave Connor the Tyranno Dagger, and we gave Kira the Terrace Saber, and we gave Ethan the Triceratops grips, which means the last weapon is the shield, which means we're giving it to Trent. The most brutal and one of the best evil rangers we ever had usually has one of the coolest weapons ever, that of course being the Dracula Dagger. But what if we gave him the more defensive weapon? Trent's storyline is very hard and very emotional and of course very conflicting. So what if we gave one of the most traumatized rangers a defensive weapon? I give you the Drago Shield. I followed suit with, of course, the black and white going off of the Zord, the nice little point there representing the fin on its head and the tip of the wings, so it can still attack. The nice black diamond in the middle represents the shape of Trent's Dino gem. I kept a similar shape to the original shield because I'm not 100% changing these weapons, I'm just making them stylized to a different ranger. I did give it a bit more of a point though, so he does have some form of lethal attack. I mean, he does start off as an evil ranger. And so there you go. 5 weapons belonging to 5 rangers, but I just swapped them around, giving them a different type of weapon. Maybe in this particular universe, their joint weapon is maybe different, who knows. But let me know down in the comments below what weapons you would do. Which ranger would get the dagger, the grips, the saber, the shield, and the spear if you had to swap them around, giving their weapons a new theme and new looks as well, because it's based off of their dinosaurs. That being said, I do want to do this for more ranger teams. My next one, I really want to do the Spirit Rangers. Jungle Fury is a bit hard to do because their weapons are very basic, but not the Spirit Rangers. Their weapons are actually themed off of their Zords. So I really want to focus and swap them around and give them a bit more diversity there. There's obviously other weapons out there themed off of animals and dinosaurs and stuff like that, so definitely let me know what you think I should do. That being said, of course, let me know down in the comments how you would do this. Let me know if there's any other rangers you guys want me to do. And of course, there are auxiliary Zords that never get weapons for the rangers. That only really ever happened in Wild Force and Jungle Fury. So if you guys want to see how I think an auxiliary weapon would look like for the rangers based off the auxiliary Zords, let me know and I'll see what I can come up with. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I draw all sorts of things from Pokemon, Digimon, Power Rangers, weapons, Power Rangers and weapons, and all sorts of stuff. Thank you everybody. I love you all and I shall see you guys in the next one.